Good morning, Facebook, family, friends, whoever is watching. Hello, YouTube out there. I am making this morning a fun little thing for my son and his girlfriend are having a Halloween costume party tonight. And she specifically asked me to make a Halloween spider bread dip bowl. And so that's what I'm going to make. The first thing that you need to start with are some Rhodes dinner rolls right here. There's 36 in a package. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out 16 of them. Just place on any kind of, you can have a cookie sheet, breadboard like what I'm working with, whatever you want, because you have to get these to thaw out. And it's gonna take probably a good 2 hours for these just to thaw out before I can ever start doing my little project here. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, right here, 16. Okay. A little early in the morning for me. I was up with the chickens, but still early in the morning. So you want to place them on any type of a board, which I'm just putting mine on this just to thaw out. I'm going to take some saran wrap and I'm going to lightly spray one side of this saran wrap with some cooking spray. And that just is to make where the rolls don't stick onto the saran wrap. Kind of turn it over here and place it on top. In the 2 hours that go by, I'm going to be preparing all the rest of the little dip as far as what's going to go on this little cute checkered black and white tray. And I'll get to that, but I'll come back in just a couple hours or however long it takes. I have a nice sunny spot in my kitchen for these to thaw out. So that's what I'm going to do first. And then I'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, we're on to the second part of making this Halloween spider bread dip bowl. Okay, so my little dinner rolls have thawed out. We don't want them to rise just yet. We just wanted them to thaw out from what they were. And it took about a good hour and a half for them to get to this point right here where they're pliable and they're just fine. So what we need to do to begin with is I'm going to take 2 of them and I'm going to make the head. So we just kind of form the ball, tuck under the little ends like so. And that's gonna be the head to this spider. Now what cracks me up the most about this project with my son's girlfriend is that my son does not like spiders at all. In fact, he's kind of afraid of them. Always has been. But we'll try to make this a friendly spider. We're going to have this, in fact, I think I'll name this spider Claude. Yep, he's gonna be Claude. That's his name. So I'll put the board right here so that you can kind of see. Here's his friends that have joined him. So here's the head that we've started with. Now we're going to take 10. So we just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, leaving me with 3 left over here, 3 left over, and 1 I added just in case I had a boo-boo or whatever. It's always good to have 1 extra, but I have 3 left over. Now we're going to take these and squunch them all together because this is our body. We just kind of want to form it and get a nice body going here. Tuck it all under here, all under with your pastry. Because this is the bread dough part of the bowl that my dip is going to go into. Okay. And we'll put him about here, leaving me enough room right in here for the legs. Okay, so now we're going to take one of these and I'm going to cut it right down the middle. That dough right down the middle. And then I'm going to start rolling it out long, stretching it and rolling it out to get, I'm going to need 4 different ropes. I'm going to need 2 of them 12 inches long, and then I'm going to need, well, 4 of them 12 inches long, and then I'm going to need 4 of them 10 inches long. So 4 of them 12 inches, 4 of them 10 inches, because the spider does have 8 legs. Just keep working your dough till you get it down to the 12. You're gonna have to kind of work with it, stretch it out and work with it to see it pulls, it wants to pull back into shape, but that's okay. So here's my very first one that I'm gonna take, and we're gonna stick it right like this. Whoops, I did forget one little thing. Told you I was up with the chickens this morning, but wasn't quite awake. It's always good to spray your pan, even though I've got the parchment paper on there, just a light coating of the cooking spray. Now I feel more comfortable. That I'll be able to get this clod off of the cookie sheet here. Okay, so here's one leg that I'm going to form down here. I said you're just going to have to kind of work with the dough a little bit, stretching it all the way out. These are the legs, and they're going to be the 12 inches. I think this is going to be really cute when it gets all done. I think she'll be proud of me. I hope that I've done this for her. It's always nice to be needed, isn't it? And I think my little cooking video shows here have been made it where people need me. Yesterday, when I got done with my, get the air bubbles out, when I got done with my carameled apples and my white chocolate ghosts, I took those over to my neighbor who's 92 years old. And oh my gosh, she just thought those were something. Now you can form that leg any way you want to. Getting it down, just keep pulling and stretching it down. Get it look like a leg. Okay, now the next one. Again, just cut that dough right down the middle. And start rolling it out. Yeah, she really liked that. So I like to give things away to people. I am a giver on a lot of things. And this is kind of my way of giving back to a lot of people who don't know how to make things. I got the biggest kick out of my daughter-in-law yesterday. She sent me a picture of her. I gave her my older, it wasn't that worn out yet, but my white KitchenAid mixer I gave to her, and because she's been wanting one for a very, very long time. And she broke down and bought the attachment that you can shred things, and she was making, she said she was going very slow at it, and I said, well, what are you making? And she said she was making fried potatoes. So I was glad to hear that. I said, now you can go on and make cooking shows just like me. I didn't hear back from her. Maybe she didn't like that idea. I don't know. I don't know on that. But that's okay. Okay, so there's our other leg. And you can make them as fun and creative as you want. You really can. You really can. So for my son's girlfriend, Christina, who asked me to do these fun little things, I appreciate it. Sometimes I panic when she doesn't give me very much time to do something, but I do kind of enjoy it. So as long as the recipe comes out, and you know, sometimes things do and then sometimes they don't, but this is just bread dough, you know, and you can work with it and make it come out. Just have to kind of pull on it a little bit and make it come out. Now I'm overlapping the leg dough here at the top. You may not be able to see it in the video, but I am overlapping it. That's why I gave myself a little bit of room to put the spider legs down here, giving it some room there. Okay, then I'm going to go to the next one, and now these are going to be the 10-inch, and that's going to be the front of his body. Oh, I remember now why I left that other one. In looking up the picture of a spider, well, it's just like this. You know, they have these little guys right here, and I think I saved that out to make that part of it. Just kind of put my signature touch on it. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so here's another one here. Again, I'm just attaching. And on this one, the one up here, I'm gonna make just a little bit longer. Now I'm gonna move that head down here in a few minutes so that it all blends in together. But you wanna get that. Sometimes you just have to kind of push it down on the paper here to make that form. Because again, if you look at a spider, you know, it's got the legs here. Now we're making 2 at the back, 2 at the front. I'm not making them close like that because this is dough. When I get this done, as far as this part of just getting it put together, then like any dough, you have to let it rise. So I'm going to give this another good hour just to let the dough rise and get a little bit bigger. It's all right. Pulled it a little bit too tight there. I'm just sticking back on there. Should be enough anyway. Should be enough. I want this one to come out just a little bit bigger here and stick together. So I'm going to pick up the head. Apologize for my sniffing. My gosh, my allergies have gone crazy in the fall here. Now we're going to stick that pretty close so that it touches, the bread touches. I'm just going to stick him like so. He doesn't look too bad, now does he, Mr. Claude? Mr. Claude doesn't look too bad. Okay, and again, I will take some saran wrap, I will spray it, and I will put over this, and I'm going to allow this now to rise. Oop, I forgot my little tinicle, guys. I won't take very much of it for that. Maybe just 2 little ones here. I think he needs those. I think he needs the little parts like this. I'll try to get that in there. And anyway, I'm going to spray the saran wrap. Sorry, good. Lose my train of thought here. And then I'm going to let this rise. And then I'll come back and I will show you the next part of this. Oh yeah, now he's looking more like a little spider, isn't he? Ugly little spider. I'm not real wild about him either. But that's this recipe. No biggie. It's all right, it'll come out in the wash. As my mother says. Everything always comes out in the wash. Now he looks more like a little spider to me. Okay, so again, I'll put some saran wrap on there, I'll let it rise for an hour, and then I'll pop back on to show you the next step. I'm back. Okay, my little spider, Claude, Mr. Claude, rose what I want it to do. Almost in double size, it really is. And I added a little friend here. This is his baby, a little baby. This is Mr. Claude, and how about little Claudette? Oh, probably shouldn't have used that name. Oh, well, what the heck. This is going to be a cute little thing today, and that's all I care about. Okay, so now what you need to do is I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And now I'm going to take an egg that I forgot. Okay, I'm back with the egg. Take an egg, and all we want is the egg white, not all of the egg. So take that part, put in a little dish. I don't need all of it, but that's pretty good right there. And switch this around a little bit, and we're going to add a good tablespoon of water to the egg white mixture. Just give that a good whipping. Any pastry brush will work. I still like to use these little paint brushes. I get them at Harbor Freight, and gosh, there's several that come in a box. And I just find that they go on it really smooth. So again, this is pastry. So we want to give it a nice color here of having it brown up, nice golden. That's what we're after. Put this on Mr. Claude and little Claudette. Little Claudette. This is going to be pretty cute. I really think it is. That water that you add to this makes it real nice. Makes it go on where your brush isn't sticking to the dough. And then what we're going to take, Parmesan cheese, and you're going to sprinkle that onto the legs. Getting that coated well on the legs. This will give it a nice flavor. It's really more for presentation than anything, but I suppose if somebody wants to get wild and crazy at the Halloween costume party and eat the spider, then let them eat the spider. Who cares? Maybe my kids can have that as some funny little game that whoever lost on a game or something, they have to eat the spider. I don't know. We'll give little Claudette over here some cheese. Okay, now I'm going to pop that in the oven for a good 28 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. But again, 350, 28 to 30 minutes until it's pretty nice and golden brown. Just keep an eye on it, and then I'll be right back. Spider is out of the oven. Look at this bad boy. Doesn't he look nice? I added the little Claudette baby. I thought was really cute. And now you're going to say, well, how did you get the black eyes? Well, I'm going to show you. Just take any kind of a little knife. I took one that had a little serrated edge to it. And I came along to the front of the baby anyway, and just did a slit, and then kind of did the top part on it also, so that it looks like that with the slit. And then get some olives over here, and these are half olives that I am going to cut in two again. Cut those in two again, and then I just took off the edge of one of them, and you stick that into the eye slit here. And that makes the little, this one here, it's longer. That makes the little eye, little black eye. Push it down real well in there, and that, you see, makes the eye. That's to begin with. Okay, we have lots more to go on this little project. So, next step is, have his little friends join him. Next step is to make the spinach dip that's going to go in the center. He's still just a little bit warm, so while I'm making the dip, I'm going to have him cool down. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need on this is sour cream. Now, you're going to need 1 16-ounce sour cream. You can buy any brand. Christina picked out Daisy, and that's fine. That's fine on that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the whole container of the sour cream in here. All of this nice spinach dip. This is a relish tray. It really is. By the time I get done, it's going to have vegetables and things that you are going to dip into this nice spinach dip. And that'll be fine. Okay, and then you're going to need 1 10-ounce package of frozen spinach. And what I did, because spinach is spinach, whether you buy it fresh and do it, or this recipe does call for the frozen. So I just got out my little salad bowl thing here that I put the package in here. I let it thaw first, and then I put it in here, and I wanted to make sure that all of that water is out of this spinach. And these things are really, really handy because they just spins around and gets all that water out of there, which it did. That bowl over there. So now it left me with just the spinach, and if you can see, look how much water was left over out of that. There was quite a bit. So now I'm going to take the spinach, and it calls for the whole thing. So I'll just stick this in this bowl right quick, just to kind of show you that it's all nice and not wet anymore. As far as the consistency of it, it's not wet anymore. Then I'll get rid of this. Okay, and this is just kind of as you go. Just start doing it as you go. So we're going to put all this in here with the sour cream. And then it calls for 1 cup of, had to grab my measuring cup right quick. It calls for 1 cup of mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, but mayonnaise, which you know me, I don't care for mayonnaise that well. I like the Miracle Whip a lot better, but some recipes, you know, really call for this. And I think this will be all right. In fact, I think it's going to be the whole, not quite. I thought it was going to take the whole entire jar. Okay, we'll put the mayonnaise in. She will have enough with this recipe to fill the bowl twice. You know, when it gets down low, she can go back and scoop out some more and put in here. So that's that part of it. And then it calls for, I got the sour cream and I got all that. 1 tablespoon of minced onion. Get a teaspoon here, so I'll go 1, 2, because that'll be a tablespoon now of the minced onion. And then it calls for 1 can of water chestnuts. Now, water chestnuts have a lot of water in there, so be sure and drain the water off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out of the can here, and I'm going to be chopping these up so that they're bite size in here, because this is a dip and you want just little bite-size pieces. This is going to be pretty good stuff. Pretty good. I love fall. I love entertaining during the holidays. And even though I'm not wild about the little Halloween parties, because I've had some over the years and people get so wild and crazy at them, but I do like to go and enjoy all the nice, fun food. I don't go into those crazy eyeballs and different things of really, you know, gross stuff for Halloween parties. This is going to be a real nice, cute one that I think everybody will enjoy. And like I said, she can decide whatever she wants to do with Mr. Claude Spider here afterwards, whether they want to eat the spider or whatever they want to do with it. Don't care what they do with Claude or baby, little baby Claudette. So again, just kind of chop up your water chestnuts. I had so much for the prep work to do, I kind of forgot about these. The vegetables and things that are going to go on this tray, I have already prepared as far as washing them thoroughly from coming from the grocery store. I always wash all fruits and vegetables because they get handled quite a bit. You wouldn't think they do, even though they're packaging. I still like to give everything a nice drink of water and get it all clean. Yeah, this is going to be quite a bit for this dip. Okay, so those are the water chestnuts that we put in here. And then the next thing is you need a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon of salt. And a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. That'll make it nice, won't it? And then it calls for this Knorr vegetable recipe mix, 1 full package of that. And looks like I gotta go grab my Parmesan cheese again. Stick that in there. So I'll be right back on that. Okay, back with the cheese. Put it in the refrigerator. And forgot I had to have just a 1/4 cup of it for this recipe. Cheese in there, and all of the dip is in there, and now we just want to mix all that up to have for this nice dip. Boy, I can smell those seasonings in that vegetable mix. Wow, this is going to be kind of nice. If you don't like a spinach dip, then try something else. You know, there's all kinds of dips out there. Yes, you can buy them already done in their little containers. But again, everything with me, I try real hard to show it being made homemade from scratch because it's so much better that way. It really is. It really, really, truly is. Okay, now I'm going to let that rest for a few minutes while I get everything prepared on this nice little platter of having the spider. So the very first thing I'm going to take is, I got some mushrooms, and I took out on the mushrooms, the big part of the mushroom. What I did was, because I want to put this down under here and under here. So in doing that, I took the mushroom and I sliced off each side of the stem. So it looks like that. And then I went right down the middle with the mushroom. And I think these will be all right for that. So let me go ahead and get them out. These are strong little mushrooms. They have a potent smell to them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these carefully underneath the head part. Bring it up just a little bit with some mushrooms. Just a little bit more here. So we have color to all of this. And we'll put some back here on the back body part. That Parmesan cheese smells really good. It really does. Real nice. And you can go as far as you want on this, on having the mushrooms come out. If you like a lot of mushrooms or you just like how they look on here, then go ahead with a few more. I'm just placing them, like I said, more for decoration, because everything's for decoration on this. And then I'm going to go ahead and take, I'm running out of room again. I have a big kitchen. I have a big counter, but I always run out of room. Then I'm going to take some fresh broccoli that, again, I have cut fairly. If you want it to lay pretty on a platter, cut it right down the middle. That's what you do. And start putting that all here. Pardon me. I am really sorry. Those mushrooms do get to me. You want to put the broccoli all on the back side here, so it shows real pretty. And to have it lay flat, then you're going to have to cut it that way so it lays nice and flat. I like to leave the stem part of the broccoli so that when they are dipping into the dip, they have something to hang on to. That in here. Just kind of line that we're going along here with all this nice broccoli. If you don't like broccoli where it's, cold like this, you only like it when it's cooked, that's okay. There's other things on this platter that are going to taste very good. Very good. And I think with the dip, it'll be very, very nice. I hope little Christina likes all of this. I really do. She's such a good girl. She's so kind-hearted, and she likes to entertain too. So does my son. And so I think they will enjoy all of this. So the back part, like I said, I'm filling up all green in here with this. And I'll keep going at it, I really will. That's the first part of that. Then I'm going to take some carrots. Carrots. Now, these aren't little baby ones. She got kind of bigger ones. And if you don't want them that size, then what I recommend is, get rid of this a minute. What I recommend is that you cut them right down the middle to put on your plate. If you don't want them big like that on there. These are quite large. So I think that's what I'll do. So we'll just kind of cut these right quick so that they all stick in here. I'm one for I don't want something, that large in my mouth when I'm at a party. So just kind of come along with this. And you're going to be putting them on this side also. This side also. It's already looking pretty colorful, isn't it? Yeah. I'd go to a party looking at this. I would. I would look at the creativity of it. That's what I like to look at. And I think everybody will get a big kick out of this. Okay, then I'm going to add some, there'll be more on here, okay? I just want to give you the gist of it. Then I'm going to add these snow peas, these snap snow peas. And I went ahead and cut off the ends because I don't like to, bite into all that on the end. I really don't. You have that little loose end back there of the little stem. And it's like, well, what do I do with that, When you're at a party. Don't worry about that you've covered up this part right here. That part I usually cut off. Don't worry about that you have covered up the mushrooms, because it won't matter once they get down to that part. They're going to see the mushroom. That'll be all right. Have it come out any way that you want. Then I have some celery, is always nice. And again, we don't want them this large. So I'm going to cut them and then cut them again. And that can be added anywhere. That can be added underneath here, wherever you would like. It's your spider, you know, it's your little guy. Try not to cover up too much of his legs, because that's what you want to see, is the cute little spider. Is this cute little spider. Just have it cut. And if you feel like those are too big, too long, cut them down and you'll be all right. If I move this over a little bit, then I can add more of these down in here. I have these little mini peppers. And I'm going to take 2 of the red ones, and we're just going to stick them. Just kind of stick them right here and right here, kind of like him. And if you like red peppers, which I do, they have such a sweet, crunchy taste to them. So I cut these up, and you know, we can stick these along here if I don't like that edge, which I don't. You know, you make it look as pretty as what you would like. It's your creativity coming out in the dish, and that's what people will notice when you prepare something. Doesn't he look cute now? Doesn't he look cute? Okay, and again, I would just keep adding as I go more on here, because there are going to be several people. There's about 25 to 30 people going to show up at their house. And what she needs to do is she just needs to kind of keep filling this platter as the night goes on. And she will have the little Ziploc bags to be doing that. These in here. Now, I think you get the kind of the gist of all of that. So, with that being said, I'll move this out of the way a minute. And we're gonna cut the spider open. I'm gonna cut him open here. Get all this out of the way. And you know, you could have him just sitting like this or whatever on here. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I'll probably show that at the very, very end. Take a good, sharp, serrated knife. And I had a bowl here to kind of do my judging of how I wanted to cut this, which I'm just going to kind of make a little indentation all the way around and then start cutting to make this pretty round as I can get it. Anyway, all the way around here. It's pretty good. And then you're just going to hollow this out. Now I would make it, you know, as wide as you could, is what you want here, because you want the dip, the spinach dip, to go in here. That's what you're after. I mean, he's adorable, just like this. But the whole idea of making one of these was to put the dip in there. Okay, and again, just take your knife and get all that bread out of there. Get it all out. And I think a serrated knife works best on this. Just kind of hollow it all out. Now, I did tell Christina that she could just set this bowl in there if she didn't want to put the dip in here. She can just set the bowl in here for a little while. And I think what I'll do is for this video to kind of show you. I don't know if the bowl will fit down in there or not. We'll see. Yeah. See, she can do it two ways. She can have it in here and go ahead and have her dip placed in that, which will look really nice. I could even hollow it out a little bit more so that this sits way down in there. And I may do that. I may do that. I think she'll like this. I do. I do. I do. And you get the bowl nice and full with all the spinach dip. So it looks like that. And like I said, I'll be adding more onto this. I'll probably be going back and adding the olives to give it color in here. You know, we can do a layer of those or a second layer. I'll just keep adding onto all of this. I have some nice fresh parsley. I grow parsley in my greenhouse, but I asked Christina to get me some fresh parsley, which she did. She did. And then you just want to take little sprigs of that and put on top of your dip before you serve it to everybody and before you serve it. And again, you can put the little baby. I don't know where I'll put the little baby. Maybe just hanging out right here. And that is going to be her little veggie tray with all the vegetables on it. And I think she'll like this. I really do. I think she'll get a big kick out of this. It's happy Halloween time. Can you understand that? It's just really happy Halloween time. You just kind of go crazy. I hope they have a wonderful time tonight, and I hope that they post a lot of pictures on Facebook of all the different costumes and everything, and show the hors d'oeuvre plate here. And I was more than glad to do it for them because I love them both. So from my kitchen to yours, I hope you've enjoyed my video on how to make this spider vegetable tray here and the spinach dip that goes along with it. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Catch you later. Bye-bye now.